All right, how's everybody doing today?
Doing alright.
Yeah, should Orlando build a soccer field?
Yes.
Yes. Well, that was going to lead to my next question, how many soccer fans I have in here, so obviously I have a lot. Now, myself, I love soccer, it's one of my favorite sports. I'm a big sports fan. But I want you to ask yourself kind of like this question through this whole kind of like presentation. What's the cost of, building that stadium? Like what happens? The whole process of, that being built. Notes for you? But yeah. Now they're building this stadium. It should be built 2016 for this year. And this all relates to you guys because we all live in Orlando. So do you guys feel like is this going to be a positive or a negative? They want to make sure this soccer field is going to be like a real global thing. Bringing a lot of people to our community and stuff. So soccer's popularity, the Orlando Magic not being successful in ticket sales, the money could be used for other things in communities in Orlando. Those are going to be some points I'm going to talk about in here. Now, soccer's popularity in America. The World Cup over a couple years. 1994 was the last time where we first qualified for a long time, and that kind of built the whole popularity. Yeah, in 1994, this is stats from the Washington Post, and it's 12.12 million Americans were playing soccer, so that's just around America itself. So that's, really good numbers right there. Now, in 2004, it went up to 13.8 million Americans playing soccer, but by the time, around getting to, 2010, 2014, 12, actually went back to 12.7 million, so just around that 12 million range. So it kind of peaked, kind of went down a little bit. And 46% of people in America believe that in the next decade, soccer in America would, reach a point and really, get to those peaks in foreign popularity. Now, Orlando Magic not being successful in ticket sales, I wanted to kind of compare them because, basketball, that's a real popular sport. We got football, we got hockey, baseball, those are one of the best sports. And Orlando Magic actually ranked 23 out of the whole NBA last season. That's an 8% decrease from last season. And they actually, Amway Center was built about a couple years ago, and that was a big thing. I know when I first got out here in Orlando, and that was actually a 14.4 decrease from that season. So if we're building a new team, that was supposed to be a big thing. And, if we can't even sell basketball tickets, how's that going to affect that as far as us getting a soccer team? Now, the money can be used for our communities, People's going to be losing jobs. Some people are going to leave some of their homes and some of their, with the way, the money, it's going to be $110 million going into this stadium. 25 of that's just a state sales tax subsidy, and that's just that alone. And 40 million is going to be paid by the actual MLS team, and out of that, the rest is going to be paid from Orange County, Orlando, I believe Osceola, other counties around Orlando is going to have to pay for about 65 million. So what about Orlando? What about our communities? I found this one story about a church actually who's been in providing service for about 40 years, and they've been in the same location for about 30 years. The city, so they're building the stadium. They basically were the reason why they can't buy it is because it's a public purpose, and it's the state shows they're actually still fighting, to get a not petition, but yeah, they're trying to get a petition so they can stop that as far as that. And I said if you can look up more research, see which other communities or other businesses or small businesses that affect that, start a petition. And do we really need another sports franchise? Imagine not selling that much. And one thing too, they're talking about just building jobs for the community and stuff, but how about they focus more on the people that are here in Orlando, not the people just coming, you know? That's another thing too, so that's a couple of my questions.